Frank is a 60-year-old male with multiple sclerosis. He lives alone in an accessible home in Vancouver. He has generalized weakness, fatigue, and limited function in his hands and upper extremities. Frank uses a power wheelchair for daily mobility with a ROHO cushion for pressure relief. A support worker assists Frank with his ADLs for 2 hours each day. To preserve skin integrity, Frank depends on his support worker to maintain the optimum air pressure for his cushion. This involves manually checking the cells and using a handheld pump to inflate the cushion as necessary. During a visit with the occupational therapist, Frank completed the COPM and expressed a desire to become independent in managing the inflation of his cushion. With this goal in mind, we, the OTs, identified Frank's occupational performance issue to be inability to check and adjust his ROHO cushion independently due to weakness in his upper extremities, decreased hand dexterity, and a lack of commercially available devices for this activity.
To address this OPI, the OT sought a cushion that could sense and regulate air pressure levels automatically. From our research, there are no devices that combine the functions of self-inflation with an automatic air pressure sensor for ROHO. There is, however, the ROHO Smart Check system that allows users to gain real-time feedback regarding the cushion inflation levels automatically without the need of a manual check. Another are portable car tire inflators, which uses a pneumatic air compressor and a pressure gauge to determine when the appropriate tire pressure has been reached.
To create this self-inflating cushion, we will involve the following stakeholders. During initial consultation, Frank will meet with the OTs and a mechanical and computer engineer to voice his concerns and preferences. The OT will assess his challenges, strengths, and environment. Next, the engineers will design the hardware and software. They will implement Frank's input and the OT's knowledge of person, environment, and occupation. While trialing and evaluating the device, Frank will provide feedback as the OT analyzes his occupational performance. The engineers will test its functionality and make changes as necessary to ensure the product has a user-centered design. Finally, the team will collaborate with ROHO Incorporated to negotiate potential commercialization of this cushion.
To address Frank's OPI, we will create the SmartInflate. This device will have 3 primary functions: sensors that will precisely measure the air pressure inside the ROHO cushion to determine the inflation level, an automatic inflate-deflate function made possible by an electric pneumatic pump and controllable air valve attached to the ROHO cushion, and switch-compatible interface displayed on the wheelchair control with customizable presets specific to Frank's preferred inflation levels.
Frank will use this interface to view the current inflation level. The cushion's inflation mechanism will connect to the wheelchair control display to present the current air pressure inside the cushion. Frank can then select a custom preset for a preferred setting, which will cause the inflation system to activate the pneumatic pump and increase the air pressure to the selected level. To decrease the cushion inflation level, an electronically controlled valve will release air until the desired range.
Some other features will be universal compatibility with all ROHO cushions, compact and lightweight design, super inflate function for easier transfers, and power drawn from the wheelchair auxiliary ports. Device limitations include initial setup requiring calibration by a trained therapist, and potentially high costs associated with development and testing since commercialization will be spearheaded by ROHO Inc.
To verify the clinical utility and feasibility of the SmartInflate, we sought feedback from various individuals. An OT with experience in seating and positioning said, "I work with a lot of clients in the community who'd benefit from a cushion like that, especially folks who might not have any supports at home and want to be more independent." In addition, a former mechanical engineer remarked, "This device should be relatively easy to develop as there are already similar technologies that have been made." To evaluate the final product, the OTs will interview Frank after using the cushion for 2 weeks. The COPM will be used to re-evaluate his performance and satisfaction with this goal. The OT will also visually assess Frank's skin for any skin breakdown. Finally, the OTs will administer the Quebec user evaluation of satisfaction with assistive technology. This is a 12-item questionnaire measuring his level of satisfaction with the assistive device and service delivery.
In summary, the SmartInflate will enable Frank and other wheelchair users to gain more control over their own health and well-being by increasing their sense of autonomy, self-efficacy, and quality of life. Thank you.